So, a very good morning to all of you. Uh, Navroop Sood is a trauma-informed psychotherapist in private practice. She specializes in brain, body, morality, and help people with various mental health issues. She advocates and has done successful webinar series by the name Heal with Nav. Today's awareness about mental health issues and normalize the need for therapy. She is a third degree trauma informed EMDR psychotherapist and has deeply studied and worked on somatic experience TRE brain spotting extra. She did her schooling from St. Margaret Senior Secondary School, Rohini, Delhi, and graduated from Delhi University in Psychology Honors, and did her master's in professional counseling from Swinburne University of Technology, Singapore, where she is currently residing. She has done she has been associated with National Council of Social Services NCSS and as a coach and a sexual assault first responder training from Association of Women for Action and Research. She firmly believes in the healing capacity of our own body and mind when right conditions are made available for the same. And it is my honor to invite her to speak today on the 26th edition of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Over to you, Navroop.
Thank you so much, Ankur. That was a very detailed introduction, but thank you so much for that. And I'm glad to be here on this occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, where SCJ, your Skill Council for Green Jobs, is actually talking about how to bring emotional wellness to workplaces. So I'm so happy to be here today, and thank you for having me. And today's topic, as we all know, is about emotional wellness. So before we go into emotional wellness, I see there are a lot of participants here. So I'm sure that you all want to know about what emotional wellness and why emotional wellness at workplace. So it would be good if you can interact and if you can say something in the chat box. What do you mean by emotional wellness, or what do you think about emotional wellness before I start sharing my slides with all of you? Ankur, is chat open to all? And if people can write something in that.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I can share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, yeah, it is visible.
So we are talking about emotional wellness at workplace. Emotions, बहुत ही नाम ऐसा सुन के ऐसा लगता है कि अरे बाप रे, emotions, और वो भी workplace पर. So this was the topic very close to my heart, and when Ankur reached me, because I'm a therapist, so I thought, why not? Because since the start of COVID, there has been this issue where people are talking about mental health, people are talking about emotional wellness. So I thought this is a good time where I can also contribute to the community talking about emotional wellness at workplace. So do emotions have really some space at workspace? जब हम बात करते हैं कि हम ऑफिस जाते हैं, अपने कलीग्स से मिलते हैं, या जहाँ पे इतनी प्रोडक्टिविटी की बात हो रही है, वहाँ पे इमोशंस की बात, वर्कप्लेस, these two, somehow if we think about 10 years ago, it won't go together, emotions and workplace. So why are we even talking about it? Why are we not talking about numbers, sales, productivity? कैसे productivity बढ़ाएं, कैसे अच्छा हम numbers लेकर आएं, and why even care about emotional wellness? So this is the time when we are going to talk about it, and the COVID has brought this to the forefront. And thanks to the technology, I'm sitting right now in Singapore and I'm able to communicate with all of you. So that is something which is also important, that we are able to communicate from two sides of the world and talk about these emotions and discuss. So why care about employees' emotional wellness? Yes, emotions matter at workspace because emotions actually run our life, whether we like it or we don't like it. they have a significant impact on how we think, how we act, how we decide, and how we solve problems, especially at our workplace. So it has an important impact on how I'm showing up at my workplace. If my emotions are all over the place, अगर मेरा मूड खराब है सुबह उठ के, या कोई बात चल रही है मेरे घर में, या मैं किसी भी तरीके से इमोशंस मेरे हे वायर हैं, तो दैट इज गोइंग टू इम्पैक्ट हाउ आई गो एंड शो अप एट वर्क. मेरे प्रोजेक्ट पे मैं कैसे शो अप करूंगी, कितना मैं प्रोडक्टिवली उस पर अपना काम में ध्यान दे पाऊंगी, दैट इज डेफिनेटली इम्पैक्टेड बाय इमोशंस. How one feel can significantly affect how one behaves. And when one feels good, we know then they tend to be more productive and more happier. So going by that, इमोशंस डू मैटर एट वर्क स्पेस. ऐसा नहीं कि हम उसको बिल्कुल ही नकार सकते हैं कि इमोशंस की तो जरूरत ही नहीं वर्क प्लेस में. हम चाहे ना चाहे इमोशंस, वी आर बायोलॉजिकली वायर्ड फॉर इमोशंस. इमोशंस तो आएंगे. सो जो चीज है उसको एकदम से नेगेट कर दें कि ये है ही नहीं और इसकी वर्क स्पेस में कोई जगह नहीं है, तो वो पॉसिबल नहीं है. एंड दैट इज द रीजन पीपल आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इमोशंस एट वर्क स्पेस. So why is it important? Because it costs money.
Just a minute. Can you just, the slide display is not proper. So
Sorry?
Ram, can you just see, intervene?
It looks good to us, ma'am. Rohit, what's your view?
Yes, sir. It's look good, sir.
Ma'am, it might be an issue from your end.
Okay.
You might try
Let me
joining
check.
again.
Okay.
Yeah. Please continue, ma'am. Sorry.
Okay, sure. I think people are entering in the waiting room, so if you can take care of that as well. Anyway, so why is it important? Sabse badi baat, because it costs money. You know, everybody is after money. Because if emotions are not checked, if we are not in good space in our emotional well-being, then there is going to be high absenteeism. कोई ना कोई बात पे छुट्टी ले लेते हैं कि आज ऑफिस नहीं जा पा रहे, आज मूड ठीक नहीं है, एमसी लिए जाते हैं. जरूरी नहीं कि वो फिजिकल हेल्थ के लिए ही हो, बट obviously we have to show physical health, and which tends to reduce productivity at workspace. So automatically the productivity goes down and there is high absenteeism. So it's going to cost money to the organization. And this is supported by research. This is not something which I am making it up. According to a global research undertaken by Right Management Group, when health and wellness is managed well, the organization's performance increased more than 2.5 times. That's a good return on investment. So why not? Why not? We are not talking about emotions and emotional wellness at workspace, because obviously what are businesses for? Businesses here are for productivity. Businesses here are for profits. And if we just totally negate that, we are negating a very important aspect which may pull us down. Okay, I think this. It's not moving. Yeah. So what are some of the benefits of managing emotions at the workplace? One, improved mental health. Of course, your mental health improves, the mental health of all the employees. If it is in good space, people can perform well. Productivity would go up. Healthier relationships at workspace. People don't get afraid about talking about the issues. They can come forward. They can contribute well. They can contribute in terms of ideas. They can contribute in terms of how they want to make the workspace better. So there's so many things. Employees are healthier emotionally also. It contributes to the productivity. There is improved ability to redirect your thoughts and actions. So it's like if there is negative thought coming in, you can control that and you have an ability to redirect it to the positive one or to the one which is helpful and functional in moving forward. This leads to more rewarding life because you feel that satisfaction of doing your work properly and job well done. So there is a feeling of good self-esteem, more rewarding life, and healthier responses in your life instead of those which self-sabotage you. So we are not sabotaging our own success. We feel more and more confident of moving forward. So if the emotions are managed well in one space and especially workspace, people feel good to come back to work. People feel motivated to come back to work and contribute to the workspace. So there is a healthy relationship and also healthier responses in the people. So what is emotional wellness? You know, हम बात कर रहे हैं emotional wellness की, emotion, हमने पता चला कि इमोशंस क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है, प्रोडक्टिविटी ऊपर जाती है, एब्सेंटिज्म कम हो जाता है, प्रोडक्ट और जो कॉस्ट है हमारी वो अच्छी रहती है, प्रॉफिट्स बढ़ते हैं अगर एम्प्लॉइज टाइम पे काम पर आते हैं और अच्छा काम पे कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं। तो इमोशनल वेलनेस होती क्या है? इमोशनल वेलनेस इज ऑल्सो नोन एज इमोशनल हेल्थ। कि कैसे हम सोचते हैं, दैट इज द पर्सन्स एबिलिटी टू हैंडल नेगेटिव इमोशंस और वट एवर इज कमिंग इन देयर वे। अगर कोई चैलेंजेस आ रहे हैं, अगर कोई वर्क के स्पेस में कुछ ऐसे हमारे को चैलेंज आ रहा है, कुछ एनकाउंटर्स आ रहे हैं जहां हमको लग रहा है कि ओ माय गॉड, माय स्पेस इज shaky at this point in time, so I'm able to handle those challenges and different kind of experiences in a much better way. It is an awareness. इमोशनल वेलनेस की जब हम बात करते हैं, इट इज एन अवेयरनेस, अपने बारे में अवेयर होना, वेयर आई एम, अंडरस्टैंडिंग, उसको अंडरस्टैंड करना, एंड एक्सेप्टेंस। अवेयरनेस, अंडरस्टैंडिंग एंड एक्सेप्टेंस। एक्सेप्टेंस भी होनी चाहिए ऑफ आवर ओन फीलिंग्स and our ability to manage effectively the challenges which life is throwing, which my workspace is throwing, which my productivity is throwing, which my boss is asking me to do, the projects which are coming my way. Acceptance of my feelings. Agar koi, there is a project coming my way and I know that, oh my god, it's going to be too much for me, so I accept that. And once I accept that, it becomes easier for me to ask for help, or at least reach out to my boss and ask, how, I need some support, how to do it. So somewhere when we are able to accept, when we have awareness that I need some kind of external support for this, and understand it, emotions are easy to manage. And that's called emotional wellness. That means you are in a good space to stand up for yourself, to reach out for help, to ask for help, and also give help to people who are in need at your workspace. So it's a spectrum from surviving to thriving. When we talk about emotional wellness, we cannot say कि अरे हम हमेशा खुश रहेंगे, we are always in positive mode, we are always in positive zone, हम गंगो हैं, हम ये करेंगे वो करेंगे. It's not always like that. We are human beings. We are bound to go up and down in terms of our emotions. But how soon you bounce back from those valleys and come back to your normal balanced state, that is what emotional wellness is. ऐसा नहीं कि अगर मैं उदास हूं तो मैं I'm unhappy for days at stretch and I'm not able to perform well. If I'm anxious because of whatever the numbers or whatever the meeting is coming my way, and my boss is going to ask me, I'm going to be accountable, and I'm anxious because of that, and then I'm anxious for days, or I'm falling sick, I'm not able to get up from my bed. So this is what we don't want, because that's where you're going in crisis zone. So it's a spectrum. There's crisis, there is surviving where you're able to manage but you need some help, and there is a spectrum, that zone where you're thriving, where you're not contributing not just to your own wellness of others at your workspace also. So there are 5 components of emotional wellness. One is resilience. Resilience, again, as I mentioned right now, bouncing back. How fast you bounce back whatever life throws at you. कोई प्रोजेक्ट आया, कोई मर्जर हो रहा है, कहीं पे डिपार्टमेंट चेंज हो रहा है, मुझे प्रमोशन नहीं मिली, किसी और को मिल गई पहले. So all these things, when they are happening around you, obviously you're going to feel a little bit of emotion. जायज है, you are human being, होगा ही, that is natural response. But how soon you bounce back and move forward with that? Are you stuck there, or are you able to come back to your space of normalcy and move forward in life, integrate back in life? That is what is called resilience. तो जब हम emotional wellness की बात करते हैं, हम bouncing back की भी बात करते हैं, हम resilience की बात भी करते हैं. फिर हम बात करते हैं problem solving की. Some problem came my way और मुझे उसको solve करना है. जॉब स्पेसेस में, वर्क स्पेसेस में हम बहुत बार देखते हैं कि अचानक से कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ जाती है, क्राइसिस आ जाते हैं, क्राइसिस सिचुएशन. सो हाउ वेल आई एम एबल टू हैंडल दैट सिचुएशन, that also contributes to my emotional wellness and emotional wellness of the overall organization. अगर हम घबरा जाते हैं and हमारे आसपास जो हमारे एम्प्लॉइज हैं, कोलीग्स हैं, वो भी घबरा जाते हैं, then we are not in that zone, optimum zone of solving the problems. तो जब वो होता है, then we are pulling ourselves back. Sense of self worth. इमोशनल वेलनेस का एक बहुत बड़ा कंपोनेंट है हमारी खुद की सेल्फ एस्टीम, सेल्फ वर्थ. हम अपने बारे में क्या सोचते हैं. कोई काम आता है और अगर मैं ये सोचूं बार बार कि ये तो मेरे बस का नहीं है, मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगी, ये मुझसे होगा नहीं, इतना सारा काम आ गया है, और स्ट्रेस जो है बढ़ता ही जा रहा है, and stress तो एक जगह बढ़ रहा है. At the same time, I feel incapacitated. I feel debilitated by that work, and I start feeling I'm too small, or I'm not able, I will never be able to do this. That decides your self-worth. तो जहाँ पे हमारा self-worth एक shaky ground पे हो जाता है because of my work, that is again affecting my emotional wellness. So please be reminded, when I'm talking about emotional wellness, it's not just the emotional wellness of one employee. Emotional wellness of each employee contributes to the emotional wellness of the organization and the workspace. So हम एक इकाई की भी बात कर रहे हैं और हम organization as a group की भी बात कर रहे हैं, organization culture की भी बात कर रहे हैं. इमोशनल वेलनेस का और एक बहुत बड़ा कंपोनेंट है स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट. हाउ वेल द एम्प्लॉइज मैनेज देयर ओन स्ट्रेस. वो क्या करते हैं अपने खुद के स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट के लिए. डू आई एक्सरसाइज, डू आई टॉक टू माय बॉसेस, डू आई bring up the problems in the meetings, weekly meetings, monthly meetings. और आपका टाइमिंग क्या है, आपके वर्क उसका टाइमिंग क्या है, वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस है कि नहीं है. सो यू हैव टू मैनेज दैट. हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि स्ट्रेस बिल्कुल खत्म हो जाए, वो कभी नहीं खत्म होगा. You know, when you are in that space, when you are doing some job, obviously some amount of stress is bound to happen, and some amount of stress is good because it's pushing you to move forward. That gives you that energy to do something. I have to perform this, I have to do this, I have to submit this report. A little amount of stress is always important to give you that push, give you that motivation to move forward. But if that stress incapacitate you in some way and you're not able to move forward, you feel overwhelmed, you feel flooded, or you feel numb. Oh my god, what to do? So you are either oscillating between overwhelm, like too much, or numbness, I don't know what to do. Then those are the extremes, those are polarizations, and we have to figure that out. That means your emotional wellness is not in the optimum state. And the last one is workplace support. How the colleagues support each other in terms of emotional wellness. You know, do I have that space where I can go to my boss and tell him that I am going through some emotional struggles or financial struggles or family struggles back home? Am I in that space where I can talk to my colleagues of, you know, what I'm feeling right now? So that also contributes to emotional wellness. Do I have to bottle myself up? Do I have that space to talk to them, or do I bottle myself, or do I feel ashamed talking to people? Or if I tell them that I'm feeling low, what are they going to think about me? Am I weak? So all these things, you know, the support, the culture of the organization where people are supported in terms of their mental health also contributes to the emotional wellness. So that brings us to the 5 components of emotional wellness. I'm going to narrate it one more time. One is resilience, problem solving, sense of self-worth, stress management, and workplace support. And just mind you that they are not in one specific order. All of these are important and they are not in linear order. So पांचों के पांचों चाहिए होते हैं, सबका एक balance चाहिए होता है. ऐसा नहीं कि resilience is more important than problem solving, then self-worth. It's not like that. And they are not in any particular order. Along with, when we talk about emotional wellness, mindset bhi bahut matter karta hai. You know, what kind of mindset I'm bringing to my workspace. According to research published by Forbes magazine, ये research published हुई थी अभी थोड़ा time पहले, कि कुछ mindsets जो होते हैं वो better होते हैं in dealing with anxiety, in dealing with stress at workspace. You know, and these mindsets actually help to deflect anxiety. And this is the research published by Forbes magazine. And in that research, psychologists Haynes, Zucker, and Cort Rudolph, they suggested 3 mindsets that work best. आपके पास अगर ये 3 mindsets में से एक भी है, it works best when you are in your workspace and to manage your emotions in your workspace. One is challenge mindset. Challenge mindset होता है कि one believes in their own abilities and they feel that I have the resources. And I know that if I stretch beyond that, if I stretch beyond my comfort zone, I challenge myself a little bit, I'll be able to overcome this issue, whatever you're facing at your workspace. So they know that they have access to resources and they can tap into those resources, and a belief in themselves that they can push themselves to challenge. So that kind of mindset helps to move past anxiety. It becomes a little easier on them. Then there is another mindset which is controllable by self mindset, which means that I have some control over things. If I do A, I may get a result B, which is very, very predictable. अगर मैं ये report submit करूंगी तो time पे तो it's possible I can do it. I manage my time, I manage my schedule, I manage my meetings accordingly. So controllable by self mindset का मतलब है कि I have some control over things. Controllable by others mindset. I Controllable by others mindset means that others have some control, and in relationship with them, if I take their support, if I take some help from them, it becomes easier on me to manage my emotions, to manage my stress at workspace. I'm not alone in this. I can take help from others. So some people have control on this, and I can reach out to those people, seek their support, and then move forward with this issue which I'm facing in the workspace. So I'm not alone. So what organizations can do to support emotional wellness? That is most important, because we are working all in some kind of organization, whether we are in private sector, whether we are in public sector, या हमारा अपना entrepreneurship journey चल रही है, तो एक culture होता है organization का. ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्या कर सकती है अपने एम्प्लॉइज की वेलनेस सपोर्ट करने के लिए? एंड जैसे मैंने आपको पहले बताया कि क्यों जरूरी है, बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली इट कॉस्ट मनी. वी आर रनिंग फॉर प्रॉफिट्स, वी आर रनिंग फॉर इन सर्विस ऑफ समथिंग. वी वांट टू प्रोवाइड सर्विसेज एट गुड कॉस्ट एट and also earn in the process. So organizations have to support some kind of emotional wellness, and what they can do, they have to support the culture of wellness. सबसे पहले ये कल्चर को सपोर्ट करना है. ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का कल्चर ही ऐसा होना चाहिए जहां पे इमोशनल वेलनेस को इंपॉर्टेंस मिलती है. जैसे कि अभी मुझ पे स्पॉटलाइट है, सो शाइन द स्पॉटलाइट ऑन इमोशनल वेलनेस. यू नो, इमोशनल वेलनेस के ऊपर स्पॉटलाइट इन वर्क स्पेस. सर्वे योर एम्प्लॉइज, उनका सर्वे करना चाहिए टाइम टू टाइम अबाउट मेंटल वेलनेस, कि कैसी है उनकी मेंटल वेलनेस, हाउ दे आर फीलिंग एट वर्क स्पेस, आर दे फीलिंग टू स्ट्रेस्ड, और आर दे फीलिंग थिंग्स आर टू रिलैक्स्ड फॉर देम, or are they feeling anxious coming to office? Submitting reports is a chore for them, or is it easy on them, or is it too easy on them? So it's good to have a mental wellness survey for employees from time to time to assess what is the culture this organization is having from time to time. And once you get that, once you get the reason for what is happening in their emotional wellness, if it is going down because of whatever reasons, help employees reduce that. Help employees reduce those reasons which are causing stress. Not just, not just manage may, we can tell them, okay, you can take an off day and manage this thing, but help them to permanently reduce those issues. If there is some kind of deadlines which are increasing stress in people, or certain ways of rewarding, certain ways of reprimanding your employees, then try to find out what helps them move forward and what is pulling them back, and helps them reduce those causes which are causing them stress, and not just manage those. Ensure employees are taking time away from work on a regular basis. So पहले एक टाइम होता था जब हम बोलते थे कि दिस इज एम्प्लॉय की अपनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि वो वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस मेंटेन करे. But now we have moved to a space where organizations actively take part in taking care of their employees' wellness in terms of giving them time off from work from regular basis. I know most of the organizations nowadays have 5 days a week, Saturday, Sunday is off. Sometimes Saturdays they can work from home. So something like this, which allows them to have work-life balance, and not just once or twice, but on a regular and a consistent basis. Make time for fun and relaxations. When we talk about this, it's like, team meetings, team lunches, going out, having some fun activities together, having some workshops together, which help them to build team, team spirit. So something like that, which makes them feel that they are valued as human beings. They are not just robots who come, do work, and they are not just a machine for output. They are not just computers. They are not treated like that. They are treated like human beings, and they are valued, and they are seen, they are heard, they are supported, and we respect their contribution in the organization. So one thing which organization can do is organizational culture of wellness and support. And another thing, which is going a little farther than that, is not just creating the culture of wellness and support, but removing the stigma associated with emotions. कोई रो पड़ता है अगर ऑफिस में, एंड तो सारे ऑफिस, ओ माय गॉड ये क्या हो गया आज, दैट that person broke down, बॉस ने कुछ कह दिया और वो रो पड़े या कुछ, तो एक बहुत बड़ा स्टिग्मा है। जो वो करता है, जो रो पड़ता है, उसको भी लगता है मैं वीक हूँ, और जो उसके आसपास everybody is talking here say it's like oh my god what happened, and that induces shame in the person, that induces oh my god I'm weak, I'm not worth it, and I should have managed it in a better way. This is putting a question mark on my professionalism. But I think there is a need now to remove that stigma of, mental health. When we talk about mental, I think this word mental health in itself is becoming like a negative connotation. So instead of mental health, we can say psychological well-being, we can say emotional wellness. So whatever works for your organization, whatever works for you, whatever works for your culture, please go with that. So provide support and employee care. Nowadays, we see a lot of employee assistance programs coming up, wherein people are called, like today, this is one of the example of that. I've been called to talk about, I'm a therapist, and I know people who have joined are from different walks of life, and I'm so grateful to be in this space today to share this, because it is absolutely important to work on that employee assistance programs, जहाँ पे ना सिर्फ हम recognize करते हैं कि कुछ इमोशनल इश्यूज हो सकते हैं, कुछ मेंटल हेल्थ सपोर्ट की जरूरत हो सकती है, पर साथ साथ हम वो सपोर्ट प्रोवाइड भी करते हैं। जैसे कि आज ये वेबिनार है, हम लोग सेमिनार्स करते हैं, हम कुछ वर्कशॉप्स करते हैं, कुछ लंच टाइम टॉक्स करते हैं, कुछ लंच टाइम एक्टिविटीज करते हैं, जहाँ पे हम मेंटल हेल्थ को एक इम्पोर्टेंस देते हैं। एंड what role the leadership plays, it's extremely important, because if leaders themselves, जो कि organizations पे किसी status में है, किसी leadership role पे हैं, if they start doing it, if they take the initiative, come forward, talk about their own vulnerabilities or share openly about their own issues, and make it more humane and not make it more like machine kind of a thing, that is very, very important. Because when leaders do it, people follow, and people look up to those leaders, and when leaders are doing it, it becomes easier for other person to overcome their shame, overcome whatever is happening in them, because already ek to emotional issue hai, and then there is a stigma attached to it. So if leaders come forward, talk openly about their own vulnerabilities, how they overcome those, and how they are, what they do to maintain their mental health, maintain their emotional wellness, अगर वो जो खुद यूज करते हैं, भले ही वो माइंडफुलनेस हो, भले ही वो मेडिटेशन हो, भले ही वो एक्सरसाइज हो, या गुड ईटिंग हैबिट्स हो, या गुड स्लीपिंग हैबिट्स हो, वो कुछ भी आके जब अपने कोलीग्स के साथ शेयर करते हैं, इट बिकम्स इजियर फॉर पीपल इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस टू फॉलो, बिकॉज ऐसा लगता है कि अरे इसके ऊपर से स्टिग्मा हट गया, अगर ये कर सकते हैं तो मैं क्यों नहीं. So that is something which organizations need to step forward in terms of culture, in terms of talking about it, and not just talking, and moving one step forward in removing the stigma and bringing the leadership to the forefront, not just in terms of productivity and numbers, but also in terms of modeling such behaviors. So what employees can do themselves, kuch to hame khud bhi karna hai, if we are employee in the workspace. One is not comparing yourself with others. If you really want to compare yourself with what you were a few days before, a few months before, and how far you have come, and give a pat on your back. Well done. Well done. हम कहीं ना कहीं पहुंच रहे होते हैं, but it's so difficult for us to look back at our own journey. We are always constantly looking at someone ahead of us and comparing ourselves and feeling low for it. And that's not our mistake. That I have to tell you, we are biologically wired for negativity bias. हमारे को negativity की तरफ जाना बहुत easy होता है, अपने बारे में बुरा सोचना बहुत easy होता है. But if you have to think good about yourself, it takes an effort. Like if like we all know, in India, अगर हमको पानी ऊपर वाले floors पे चढ़ाना होता है, you need motor for that. But अगर पानी नीचे जाना हो पाइप से, तो वो बहुत easily चला जाता है, उसके लिए मोटर की जरूरत नहीं होती है. Same way, if you have to think about positive, if you have to think positive about yourself, that is a conscious effort. It needs practice, it needs conscious awareness, and then effort in it. But अगर अपने बारे में बुरा सोचना हो, अपने आप को compare करना हो, oh I'm not good enough, I didn't do this properly, मुझे काम नहीं आता, that comes so easily to us. So what happens is, we are like velcro to negativity. We are velcro, जैसे होता है चिपक जाता है, we're like velcro to whatever bad thoughts are coming to us, but we behave like Teflon. Teflon to the positivity. So make a conscious effort of not comparing yourself with others. Compare yourself with your past performances and how far you have come. Be mindful. Mindfulness is extremely important. We are living in an autopilot mode. We are living in an era where there are so many apps open up on the phone, and we all know अगर बहुत सारी apps open up होती हैं phone के ऊपर, हम सब use करते हैं, तो phone की battery बहुत जल्दी चली जाती है. So close those apps and concentrate on one. Don't multitask. Be mindful of what you're doing. If you're eating, be present to what you're eating. ऐसा नहीं कि टीवी देख रहे हैं और खाना खाते जा रहे हैं, पता ही नहीं चल रहा, या कोई रिपोर्ट कर रहे हैं और साथ में कुछ और कॉलीग कुछ बोलता जा रहा है और हम email type कर रहे हैं. So be mindful and be present to what you are doing, because if you keep all these apps open in your mind, colleague is talking to you, you're writing an email, and at the same time your phone is ringing, somebody is calling you from home, all these things, your energy gets drained. वो एकदम से निकल जाती है. So if you want to make your energy go up and replenish your energy, be mindful of what you're doing, be present to what you're doing, whether you are writing a report, whether you're in a meeting, be there in totality. Give the gift of your presence to whatever you are doing. Total, complete presence. Gratitude. Have that attitude of gratitude of what you have achieved, what you have received, and where you are. I'm not saying don't say ki, oh my God, there is no negativity in my life, there are no weeds. Problems हैं, problems होंगी, होती भी हैं सबकी लाइफ में, और ये नहीं कहा जा रहा यहाँ पे कि प्रॉब्लम्स को बोलो नहीं है, प्रॉब्लम्स नहीं है, प्रॉब्लम मैं तो खुश हूँ, मैं तो खुश हूँ. That is toxic positivity. I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is see things as they are, not worse than they are. क्योंकि हो सकता है कि बुरा हो, पर इतना भी बुरा ना हो जैसा मुझे महसूस हो रहा है उस टाइम पे, क्योंकि मेरा एक इमोशनल स्टेट है इस टाइम पे. So please see things as they are, not worse than they are, and then have gratitude for it. Positive self talk, हम लोग affirmations की बात करते हैं. I'm good at this, I'm happy, I'm joyful, I'm peaceful, those kind of positive self-talk. So it's like being your own cheerleader. अपने आप को cheer करना कि yes Navroop, you can do it, yes we can do this, and it's okay, जैसा भी होगा, show up, commit and do it. So that kind of positive self-talk, whatever works for you, it is not necessarily you choose the words which I am using. You can use the words which work for you. For someone it may be giving high five to themselves in the mirror. Yay. So go for that by all means, whatever works for you. Self-compassion, be compassionate towards yourself. Galtiyan hongi, that's part. To err is human. Errors are 100% होंगे ही होंगे. तो अपने आप को माफ करना सीखें, अपने आप को फॉरगिव करना सीखें, अपने आप को वो काइंडनेस दें जो आप दूसरों को देते हैं. अगर आपका फ्रेंड आके आपको बताता है कि मुझसे गलती हो गई, या आपका बच्चा आके आपको बताता है कि पापा मुझसे ये गलती हो गई, मामा मुझसे ये गलती हो गई, तो आप उसे बोलते हैं कोई बात नहीं, इट्स ओके. I want you to extend that compassion to yourself. पर जब हमारे ऊपर वो बात होती है, we have double standards, we become hypocrites, we beat ourselves up. एक तो हमसे गलती हुई है और फिर हम अपने बारे में गलत भी सोचते हैं, हम अपने आप के ऊपर बहुत गुस्सा होते हैं. We are shooting the second arrow on ourselves, and that's not going to help. That's going to take you down the rabbit hole, spiral downwards हो जाता है, and then it becomes very difficult to bounce back up in the normal state of balance in emotions. क्योंकि आप इतनी नेगेटिविटी में घुस जाते हो जब आप अपने आप को गलत अपने बारे में सोच रहे होते हो. It's so difficult to bounce back. So please have compassion to yourselves. Be kind to yourselves as you are kind to your friends and family. Take a pause, because life is like rush. It's like hustle. We are like on that hamster wheel. It's like constantly being on a treadmill. एक काम के बाद एक काम, and getting up in the morning with a to-do list. The morning we get up, sometimes we straight away look at our mobiles. What is the schedule for today? Take a pause, step back. चाहे वो दिन में 10 सेकंड के लिए ही हो, every few hours, आप एक pause लो and attend to yourself. How am I feeling? What's going on? Am I okay? Attend to yourself. Take a pause. Taking care of your physical health is extremely, extremely important. जब हम सबको पता है, when we exercise, dopamine gets released, good endorphins get released, and that helps you in balancing your cortisol levels, जो कि stress hormone होता है. So if you are into exercising, if you're into yoga, if you're into Pilates, if you are into any kind of, easy exercising, let it be walk, morning with 10 minute, 15 minute, 20 minute, kitna bhi, something is better than nothing. Please manage your physical health, eat well, sleep well, and also rest, reflect and reset. आप अपने आप को time दो rest करने का, फिर उस rest के दौरान you can reflect what's going on in me, what are the emotions, you can journal and reset yourself. It's like pressing the reset button. So this is what employees can do for their own emotional well-being. हमने बात करी organization की और हमने बात की employees खुद क्या कर सकते हैं. So mastering emotions for well-being is, जैसे मैं अभी बता रही थी, acknowledge your emotions. मुझे बुरा लग रहा है, I'm feeling bad about myself. And this wheel, what you are looking on your right side on the screen, is basically इतने सारे हमारा emotions है. This is the gamut of emotions. We call it emotion wheel. हम use करते हैं हम ये therapy में, क्योंकि usually जब हम बात करते हैं आपस में, हम बोलते हैं, oh I'm angry, oh मैं दुखी हूँ, मैं sad हूँ. But sadness के भी बहुत सारे flavors हैं. You talk about sad हूँ, साथ में मैं guilty feel कर रही हूँ. सैड हूँ, मैं शर्मसार हूँ, सैड हूँ, मैं अकेला फील कर रही हूँ, सैड हूँ, मैं बोर भी हूँ साथ में. सो सैड हूँ और मुझे नींद आ रही है. तो सैडनेस के बहुत सारे फ्लेवर होते हैं और उनके भी एक लेयर्स एंड लेयर्स एंड लेयर्स होती हैं. सैडनेस के साथ साथ मैं अपने आप को स्टूपिड भी फील कर रही हूँ. आई एम फीलिंग मिजरेबल अबाउट माई सेल्फ, आई एम फीलिंग होपलेस, आई एम फीलिंग आई एम इंफीरियर टू एवरीवन. सो एक्नॉलेज योर इमोशंस. पहले तो अवेयर हो जाए इमोशंस के प्रति. इट्स नॉट जस्ट वन इमोशन, व्हाट आर यू फीलिंग, और जो भी आ रहा है उसको एक्सेप्ट करें. As I mentioned earlier, whether you like it or not, emotions run your life. Emotions are energy in motions. So if you acknowledge your emotions, it will be easy to manage them. हम इमोशन को खत्म नहीं कर सकते. What we want कि अगर मैं सैड हो रही हूँ तो चलो टीवी देखते हैं, चलो कहीं बाहर घूम के आते हैं, चलो शॉपिंग करते हैं, चलो कुछ मूवी देखने जाते हैं. What we are trying to do is distraction. हम डिस्ट्रैक्ट कर रहे हैं. हम किसी भी नेगेटिव इमोशन को, अगर मैं डर रही हूँ या मैं सैड फील कर रही हूँ, डिप्रेस फील कर रही हूँ, एंग्री फील कर रही हूँ, तो हम या तो उस इमोशन को सप्रेस करना चाहते हैं, ऑप्रेस करना चाहते हैं, रिप्रेस करना चाहते हैं, एक्सप्रेस नहीं करना चाहते. दैट्स द ओनली थिंग वी डोंट वांट टू डू. नहीं, मुझे और सैड नहीं फील करना, इसको किसी तरीके सैडनेस को भगाओ. सो आई डिस्ट्रैक्ट माई सेल्फ, बट आई डोंट वांट टू फील इट. बट what in therapy, हम psychologists और जो psychotherapy में हम clients के साथ भी काम करते हैं, हम उनको बोलते हैं accept your emotions, acknowledge your emotions. The more you acknowledge your emotions, it becomes easier for those emotions to pass through you and they don't bother you that much. And that's how you manage your emotions. It's like you're riding the wave. हमने वो surfing वाली ads बहुत देखी हैं, कैसे वो wave के साथ surfer जो है ride करता है. So you just have to ride the wave. And that becomes easier if you're not trying to repress or suppress your emotions. Just allow them to move through you. So, and how do we do that? मैं आपको एक और बात बताती हूँ. If you really want to make your emotions big in you, वो सुनामी की तरह आपको engulf कर रहे हैं, तो आप इनको ignore करो, आप उनसे अपने आप को distract करो. But the more you turn towards them with compassion, yes, anger is showing up. It's showing up because I'm feeling hurt. It's showing up because he didn't acknowledge my efforts. My boss didn't acknowledge my efforts, or whatever XYZ reasons. If you acknowledge it, you are attending to them. And the more you attend to them, they calm down and then they don't bother you. So first, acknowledge your emotions. Identify the root cause. कि anger आ रहा है तो किस कारण से आ रहा है, क्यों मुझे trigger कर रहा है. Express your emotions in a healthy way. Maybe you can reach out to that person and talk to them in an assertive way. There is a difference between, again, assertion and aggression. Gussa hona, chillana, yell karna is another thing, and being assertive is a different thing. It's how you express yourself in a firm way, without yelling at someone, without being aggressive. And practice emotional regulation skills and habits. ये skill है, emotions को regulate करना एक skill है, and this can be learned. And it can become your habit. We are not born with emotional regulation skills. We are not. We learn it, we acquire it with practice. And the more we practice, it becomes our habit. And the more we practice that habit, it becomes my state. I'm always in that state. And the more that state is practiced, it becomes my trait. And that is my personality. Then it becomes my personality. So the more you practice your emotional regulation skills, the more it becomes you. it becomes easier for you. So फिर जब कुछ life में कुछ ऐसा ऊपर नीचे होता है, it's easy for me to come back into that state of equilibrium and bounce back faster, and my resilience muscle increases. So what doesn't help? हमने बात की what helps in emotional wellness, what doesn't help? Overriding your emotions, like I said just now, कि distracting yourself, suppressing it, or repressing it, कि नहीं मुझे तो सोचना ही नहीं है, मेरे से बात करो, कुछ करो, बाहर चलो, shopping करो, overriding your emotions. Don't try to override. Rationalizing your way out of an emotional situation. हम किसी को दर्द हो रहा है, किसी कोई हर्ट फील है, हम उसको ये नहीं कह सकते कि अरे देखो ना तुम्हारे साथ ये पहली बार हुआ है, इस दूसरे जन के साथ तो कितनी बार हुआ है. आप ये that kind of rationalization is not going to take someone out of their pain. You cannot talk someone out of their pain. If somebody is in depression या कोई depressive symptoms हैं और वो बिल्कुल ही अपनी लाइफ से निराश हैं, आप उसको ये नहीं बोल सकते, oh look at the best side of life, at least you have food on your table, at least you have roof on your head, at least you have job. That person is hurt, that person is drowning. You cannot show them the vision board. So don't try to rationalize either the other person or yourself out of an emotional situation. If emotions are there, you have to acknowledge them, accept them, tune to them with compassion. Minimizing your emotions by saying to yourself that it wasn't a big deal. हम कई बार अपने emotions को बहुत minimize कर देते हैं कि नहीं यार ठीक है, उनकी तो आदत है, वो ऐसे ही बोलते हैं, दुनिया में तो इससे भी बुरा बुरा होता है, मेरे साथ तो कुछ भी नहीं हुआ, बहुत कम हुआ है ये. We try to minimize our emotions. Don't do that. Allow yourself to feel it. This is our culture, this is our conditioning to have gratitude for everything, but don't minimize your pain just for the sake of gratitude, because then it turns into toxic positivity, a forced positivity on you. You'll not be able to ever accept it. It's just forced on you. Trying to talk yourself out of your emotions, you cannot talk yourself out of your pain, whatever you're feeling in your emotions, because it is a different part of the brain where the emotions are stored, and it's a different part of the brain, which is prefrontal cortex, where your talking part is stored, where your logical and rational brain is stored. So you cannot talk to this part by the words of talking, prefrontal cortex. Underestimating the impact of our emotions. Don't ever underestimate the impact of your emotions. Emotions can bring you up, emotions can ruin you, can bring you down. So don't underestimate. We are not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to scare you. मैं डराना नहीं चाहती, सिर्फ ये कह रही हूँ कि उसको आप एक्सेप्ट करो, क्योंकि आपके इमोशंस में इतनी ताकत है कि वो आपको ऊंचाइयों और बुलंदियों तक ले जाएं, आपकी प्रोडक्टिविटी को इंक्रीज करें, आपको प्रमोशंस दिलवाएं, आपके अच्छे रिलेशनशिप्स कर दें, आपकी फिजिकल हेल्थ और आपके घर में भी जो आपके आसपास का वातावरण है उसको खूबसूरत बना दें, और उनके अंदर ये भी ताकत है कि वो सब कुछ खराब कर दें. So don't underestimate the impact your emotions can have, and that is why it's extremely important that we manage our emotions well, and it is a skill which can be learned. So lastly, our work environments, specifically क्योंकि आज हम यहाँ work environment की बात कर रहे हैं, तो our work environments are worlds that we create. हम लोग मिलके उस world को create करते हैं, and we have the power to create them however we want. We can have a toxic environment in the organization, or we can have a positive environment in the organization. We can have an organization culture where people thrive, where people are happy, where people want to come to office, where people support each other, or we can have a culture in the office where people dread to come to office, where they don't want to come to office, where they don't support each other, where they pull each other down. So ये हमारे हाथ में है. We created हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के एनवायरनमेंट, हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का कल्चर, उसके लोग बनाते हैं, और सबके पास ये ताकत है. हर एक इंसान जो उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, उस वर्क स्पेस में आता है, उसके पास एक ताकत होती है, एक सुपर पावर होती है उस कल्चर में कंट्रीब्यूट करने की. So we can make spaces where people are cared for, they feel understood, where they thrive, where they move forward in life, and where they also contribute to something greater than themselves. They are contributing to organization's vision, organization's values, and that is possible if we create that culture. And this can happen at every level of the organization. So with that, I want to end this, and I hope it was great learning for all of you, that how to manage your emotions well. There are so many things in terms of जो हम लोग सीखते हैं, चाहे वो mindfulness है, चाहे वो स्लीपिंग है, फिजिकल हेल्थ की चीजें हैं. तो ये कुछ कुछ चीजें हैं जो तो बहुत कॉमन है और हम लोगों को पता है. सो इफ यू डोंट वांट टू tune into your emotions right now and you feel scared, you can start with small things. Start with easy things. Start with things which you can control, getting up at the time you want, or doing having control on things which you can, what I want to eat, how I want to show up, and how I want to move in my life. So try to exercise your control wherever you can, because that's going to help you build your self-esteem, your confidence, and the way you show up in the organization also. Thank you very much. Over to you, Ankur.
Yeah.
And I'll stop sharing my
Ankur, if I can come in between, I'm Dr. Davija.
Yeah, ma'am.
I think it was a excellent presentation. I'm saying it from the core of my heart. And you initiated a thought process within me. And the best part, what I can say, was the compassion for self. We always are very harsh on ourselves. I feel, we have not done this target, we have not done this, we should do this. So that self-compassion is something I'm taking home. There are so many things. 3 hours we say in for waste management. You have taught me 3 hours for the reset. You said rest, reflect, and reset. So the 3 hours also are a takeaway from your listening. There are many takeaways I can see. I have only one question. See, during this pandemic, we have all evolved, or we have all passed through a phase where our workplace, our personal life, all has gone for a toss, in the sense that the entire system has changed. We were earlier coming on a routine job, coming to office, going back, having a set pattern of life. Now that has changed. That creates a lot of turbulence in the mind. You're not able to do that much what you could do earlier. So how could you guide us, or you could tell us something that we can continue to be emotionally well in this circumstance?
Thank you, Dr. Praveen, for that question. It's extremely important, and I'm sure many people would have that question. So as I mentioned towards the end, start small. Start with things where you can have control, because you cannot have control of what's happening around you. For human beings, it's very, very difficult to accept the fact that they don't have control. We want some kind of control on our routines in our lives, like जैसे pandemic से पहले हमारा था, getting up in the morning, there was a routine. हम सबके routines बिगड़ गए. We were locked down, we were in isolation, and then there were a lot of news of grief coming in from all the sides. There was a lot of chaos in our mind, and if you felt like helpless beings, हमारे हाथ में कुछ है ही नहीं, control जा रहा है. So what I want you to do, all of you to do is, and that's what I did myself, and it helped me tremendously, because I'm staying away from home. My parents are back in India, and it's tough to see what was going on back then, and you can't move there also. So start small. Jahan jahan control hum le sakte hain, start with that. Jaise maine abhi towards the end I said, if I can control what time I wake up in the morning, I can control what I eat, I can control what I wear, I can control my exercise, I can control if I make my bed in the morning, I can control my to-do list. Wherever you can, in small steps, exercise some kind of control, you can bring your emotional wellness in that window of tolerance. जहां आप उसको बर्दाश्त कर पाओगे. Otherwise, it will take you haywire. Helplessness creates hopelessness. And the more hopeless a person feels, it is a downward spiral. It becomes very difficult to bounce back. Having said that, if one has already started the journey of downward spiral and it feels difficult for them to bounce back, it is always advisable to reach out to someone else. It could be someone else who understands you. It could be your friend, it could be your partner, it could be your family, it could be someone you're close to. And the most important thing is you should feel safe with that person. Safe is the word. सेफ्टी, मुझे इस इंसान के साथ सेफ्टी महसूस होती है. जिसके साथ भी आप सेफ फील करते हैं अपने इमोशंस शेयर करने के लिए, प्लीज गो एंड पोर योर हार्ट आउट, हैव अ हार्ट टू हार्ट कन्वर्सेशन. अगेन, इफ दैट इज आल्सो नॉट हेल्पफुल, द नेक्स्ट रिजॉर्ट इज सीकिंग हेल्प वाया थेरेपी. So that is the third step. But the first step is start having start doing little things which helps you to get control back in your life. जहां जहां control वापस लिया जा सकता है, छोटी छोटी चीजें, because our brain understands, oh, the control is coming back, oh, the control is coming back. So certain neurons in our brain, they start to fire. There's a part in our brain which is called anterior mid cingulate cortex. वो फायर करना शुरू कर देता है, और जब वहां पे फायरिंग होती है तो इमोशन जो आता है वो ये होता है, oh, I can handle this, I can manage this. So this is the way we try to bring fire into that neuron. हम उस न्यूरॉन को फायर करवाते हैं ये छोटी छोटी चीजों से. And along with that, the next step is talk to someone you are close to, you feel safe with. अगर वहां पे भी आपको नहीं फील हो रहा कि ये chaos नहीं, मेरे it's going haywire, और मैं नीचे से नीचे गिरती चली जा रही हूँ, and that is the point, it's good to seek some professional help.
Thank you very much. I think over to Ankur. I think there are some questions in the chat box. Ankur?
Yeah, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah. Navroop, it was a very wonderful session. On behalf of Skid Council for Green Jobs, I thank Mrs. Navroop Sood for sparing her valuable time and sparing her knowledge and experience. It was a very informative and insight presentation, and I hope it will impact many lives. I hope I have also attended many webinars of Mrs. Navroop, and they have always been very informative and motivative. Once again, I thanks Ms. Navroop and would like to request her association with us for similar events in the future as well.
Yeah, Ankur, there is a question
Mr. Ankur,
regarding somebody has asked that Dr. Asta wants to have more examples, case studies. So if you could share, if you could share this.
Mahotsav also wants to say something.
Ankur, please listen.
Yeah.
First.
There
is a question where Dr. Asta has asked for some case studies. She wants that Ms. Navroop should share some case studies. Yeah. So if you could either exchange emails or how could you do that, Navroop? Ms. Sood? Yeah.
If someone wants to reach out to me, I can put my email in the chat box, and they can reach out to me directly via my email, if that's helpful. Should I put my email in the chat box, Ankur?
Yeah, definitely.
So if someone wants to reach out to me, I think that would be easier.
Thank you.
No worries.
Navroop, you can also share your webinar series that he will have also.
Yes. Yes. So if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, so whenever a new webinar comes up, you would be updated. You would be updated for the same. I'm available on LinkedIn. I'm available on Instagram by my name, Navroop Sood. And my Facebook page is Heal with Nav. And that's the same
Mr.
name.
Ankur, hello, Mr. Ankur.
Yes, sir, please. Yeah.
होता साहब raised hand, वो कुछ कहना चाहते हैं, देखिए जरा.
Yeah, definitely, sir. Mr. Hutta. Sir,
please give him speaking.
Yeah. I have given him.
I just wanted to thank Navroop and compliments to Skill Council that such an important issue has been discussed. But my point is, can we inbuild this kind of emotional wellness with regard to the industrial activity? Because they are the man and machine. Many a times they don't talk to each other. And therefore, there is a lot of emotional breakdown, because I have seen in my own career where people interact with the machine and the time frame given to them. So many times the breakdowns happens. So how can we build up that kind of mechanism to fill in those gaps? That's number one. Number two is, now I see this environmental and sustainable governance. The wellness things can also be very quickly and easily integrated, so that the not only the sustainability of production, but also sustainability of human beings or the workforce can be taken. So can we work out certain such kind of things so that we can develop some kind of skills towards that?
Yes. Yes, thank you for that question. Definitely, we can do that. When you say where, especially in industries where people are all the time with machines and they are the ones doing the work, I think the organization has a bigger role to play there. So organization has to come up with steps and the timings and the space to maintain emotional wellness of the employees, because obviously they are in that kind of job where they don't have time to even think, where they don't have time to even come to that space of taking rest, because they have a certain number of hours to be associated, to be on that machine and produce an outcome. So I think organizations, especially where this is the scenario, industrial sector, they have a wider role to play and they have a bigger role to play, and they have to come up with ways. Specifically when we say ways, it has to be giving them time off or rotation job, if that is something which can be managed, giving them a good number of hours during the day for probably eating lunchtime or resting during the day, something which gives them a pause, something which gives them a little bit of break from what they are doing and give them some kind of time. And again, bringing that element of fun and joy, some team activities, doing something together, leadership, joining the people. It's very, very helpful when the leadership joins the grassroots level. It is so powerful, I cannot explain to you. I can share some research with you later, when you connect with me. When the leaders show up, when the leaders come down and be there present to the people who are working, and be there in a humane way, it's very, very powerful. So that's one. And when you talk about this, the second question, the sustainability of this, sustainability is also achievable because the organizations, this is the start of sustainability. The conversation we have initiated today, the conversation which this platform has initiated today, Skill Council for Green Jobs, this is the start of sustainability. We need to initiate more such conversations, because when we initiate such conversations, there's a lot of brainstorming. People, I'm sure today there were around 70 plus people here. We all would brainstorm and think about it, and we the people make the organization culture. We the people bring ourselves to the organization the way we are, and that together contributes to the organization culture. So the way to sustainability, of course, what we are doing in the organization is employee assistance programs, bringing in webinars, initiating such conversations. And the most of all, to sustain it, we have to have more of these conversations and change of mindset in ourselves, because I also contribute to the organization culture.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, yeah, thank you. There is one hand raised by Mrs. Divya Kumar. Please give her please unmute her.
I'm still single, still not Mrs.
Okay, sorry.
No problem, ma'am. It's perfectly all right. And finally, I did get to interact with you, even if it was funny. So, and as Navroop so rightly said, we need the fun element.
Yeah, nice to see you almost in every webinar. Yeah.
Yes, I did one too. I think you had missed that one,
Yeah.
so where I was the speaker.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I would like to come to focus on what we are doing today. Firstly, very wonderful, and if I may say to Navroop ji, I felt like if I had to use the slang language, like it was a sister from another mister, because the language you were talking was something that I felt like it was coming somewhere from inside of me. So thank you for that. And before I come back to the webinar, I want to compliment somebody. Navroop ji, aapko to hai compliments, lekin specifically to one person. SCGJ has been super to me. I am part of SCGJ as a master trainer of platform skills, communication skills, जो कि बहुत ज़रूरी होता है, and as you had mentioned, self-communication. I want to today acknowledge somebody who introduced you. Ankur has been working with me a lot in every training program that I do. He's assisting me, but I never knew he had this confidence in him to actually come and announce and speak and be a speaker. So Ankur, cheerleading for you. Everyone, let's just flash our mics or have a little bit of a for Ankur, because I have never seen this side of Ankur, and he did once. He's attended many of my training sessions. He's like, "Ma'am, aaj maza aa gaya." So Ankur, aaj maza sahi mein aa gaya. Navroop ji ke saath to aaya hi, but Ankur, you were wonderful, and. Somebody was mentioning about, sir, one of the gentlemen were mentioning about, how we can, and Navroop so rightly said that when the leadership comes in, the way I see the future is that, like we have, first aid clinics inside some offices, I see there are going to be wellness centers, or in every office, there will be one cabin which will be dedicated, whether it's alternative therapy or mindfulness. I know it's going to happen. It's already happening. It's the future. Deepak Chopra ji has started this. So Navroop ji, it was so wonderful because you literally used the same words I had used. I mean, it was crazy. I couldn't believe it. I said, she's saying cheerleader. I said, I had said the same thing. It is so wonderful that somebody, resonates with you like a mirror. And it's not like we know each other at all. So like I said, sister from another mister. And jahan tak mujhe lagta hai, if really we want to bring in something, please do comment on this, Navroop ji, that I think when we need to go home and see what our workplace is like with our domestic helps, because unka ghar, unka workplace is our home. If we sort that out, when I say we, I mean whether you're an assistant, whether you're head of CEO, if you sort that out, I think pretty much everything gets sorted. So Navroop ji, it was wonderful. And this thing about acceptance, there are certain things which are out of our control. Mr. Ram had mentioned when I was, one of the guest speakers for some similar thing, he had said the locus of control. कि हर चीज हम कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते, but वो जो हम कर सकते हैं वो हमें करनी चाहिए. And once we realize that we can't control something, just let go of it and say, let me only find the solution. It's not going to happen from that other person. Let's see what I can do about it. Absolutely brilliant. मजा आ गया आज, मतलब it was so wonderful. And I totally believe in this thing that negativity, and it's true, it's scientific, and the compliment culture, a compliment culture. And today I've genuinely complimented Ankur, because I've seen Ankur, and he used to say, "Ma'am, aaj bahut acha session tha." And I never thought he would come and introduce one day. Just the fact that he did it. Ankur, where are you? Please, I hope you're listening, because this is your time.
Yeah, ma'am.
This is your time.
Shine on.
Shine. Be
Thank
your
you,
own
ma'am.
cheerleader.
Yeah.
And sorry, आज थोड़ा गला खराब है, लेकिन नियत हमेशा की तरह और जज्बा हमेशा बुलंद रहता है. So Navroop ji, it was wonderful. I think I'm definitely going to connect with you. And I hope your parents are fine now. And very, very, and yes, and not just this, SCGJ is choosing topics like this earlier too. So wonderful job. Atmanirbharta ka ek jo culture chal raha hai, through our, from the Prime Minister's side also, from the government side also, NSDC also. The fact that they are bringing in such topics. I had also done positive self-communication. You're doing, workplace emotional health. So fact is that they are concentrating on it, and having personally worked with them, I think they are a wonderful, absolutely wonderful work. And I say go from I to high. So me to we. And yeah, so if I is high, then everyone will be high. So high on to leadership also, and wonderful. Maza aa gaya, Navroop ji. Bahut maza aa gaya. And
Thank you so
cheers
much.
to SCGJ. Cheers to everybody who's here, and to everybody who's done this. I'm so glad I attended today, and it's something very close to my heart. And thank you, Navroop ji, sister from another mister. Thank you, the entire team. It was really wonderful, and I'll put in my 2 bits that what I want in the workplace culture. I don't smoke. I want non-cigarettes, fresh air breaks. Okay.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you so
finally-
much. Thank you. This was really heartfelt compliment and heartfelt. I felt it straight in my heart. And thank you so much, Divya ji. I am truly blessed and honored to be in this space. Thank you so much, Ankur. Thanks to
And,
you.
there is one more question in the chat box. Ankur, if you could kindly read it from Dr. Astha. Should I read it, or will you read it?
Madam, you can go on.
She says that if we feel the communicating the organization would take time, what additional steps we do as individuals to assist people cope with stress? Also, how to ensure that home stress does not affect people's performance at work. how to tell if home tension is being displaced at work or work stress is being displaced at home. So this, and with that, she has also complimented you and Divyaji. Yes, please.
Yeah. जो मैं यहाँ पे पढ़ रही हूँ, how to ensure that home stress is contributing. देखो, पहले एक टाइम था हम बात करते थे कंपार्टमेंटलाइजेशन की, कि हम कंपार्टमेंटलाइज कर लें. यू नो, आई गो टू ऑफिस, आई बी ओनली द ऑफिस पर्सन. मैं घर पे हूँ तो मैं ऑफिस की टेंशन बाहर छोड़ कर आऊँ. ऐसा नहीं होता. वी आर ह्यूमन बींग्स. डोंट कंसिडर योरसेल्फ as robots, as machines, कि मैं compartmentalize कर लूंगी. You know, now I'm wearing office hat, now I'm wearing घर में hat. A doctor is doctor 24/7. मैं अगर you know therapist हूँ तो ऐसा नहीं कि मैं हर एक को घर में therapist की तरह ही बात करती हूँ, but एक वो आपकी personality बन जाता है. आप वो बहुत fluidity रहती है. आप don't try to compartmentalize, because when you're trying to compartmentalize, you're again repressing, suppressing, or you know, trying to distract yourself from something. Instead of that, just sit with it for some time. Give yourself that time and address it in a way which is more compassionate. हमारे को वो एक compassion का element लाना पड़ेगा. You know, और जो भी है, चाहे वो आपका work stress आपके घर पे आ रहा है या आपका घर का stress work पे जा रहा है, it is intertwined. It is, and it is bound to be. आप उसको अलग अलग हमेशा segregate नहीं कर सकते हो. तो अगर ये ऐसा हो रहा है, you need some time. Pause, step back, rest, reflect and reset. ये आपके buttons हैं, 3 buttons. दबाओ और आगे बढ़ो. और एक आपने सवाल किया है कि if we feel that communicating the organization would take time, what additional steps can we do as individuals to assist people cope with stress? So what I'm assuming here is कि आप अपने colleagues की बात कर रहे हो, आप उनकी help करना चाहते हो और आप उनको support करना चाहते हो. Organization को आपने बोला है, but वो time लग रहा है उनकी तरफ से कोई support आने में. So how I support my colleagues? If I have understood you correctly, you give the gift of your presence to that colleague. Don't try to fix them. They're not broken. They're not. They just need your presence. आपकी वहाँ पे एक attuned presence उनके साथ, जब वो कुछ कह रहे हो और आप उनको सुन रहे हो, और सिर्फ एक ऐसे हाथ रखना ही, I'm sorry, and I'm there for you. I'm there for you. This is more than enough for them. Let's be human and give that humanity to others and receive it, because it's going to nurture our soul. It's going to nourish our soul as well. So this is my, you know, bit for this question, and I hope I have answered it.
Yeah, over to Ankur, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Navroop, and every participant for spending your time. And once again, thank you, Navroop, for sharing your valuable knowledge and experience with us. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ankur. Thank you so much. Thank you to Skill Council for Green Jobs for initiating such a noble way of reaching out to people and helping me, also giving me this platform to do my bit for the community. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone, and have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.